with you. So it is so good. Okay, so now we're gonna get started. Okay, we sent you two videos. One about let me just check it here. One how to debate, and the other one was about debate vocabulary. Okay, so I want you to give me a brief summary about the first video, how to debate. Okay, so who wants to start?
Well, the first video was about how to prepare for a debate, and the speaker was talking about some steps you need to consider in order to have a successful debate. And some of them was giving yourself a lot of time to investigate about the topic you're going to speak about. Also, um, learn uh, as much as possible as the reality of the subject or the theme, how the impact of that um, subject is having on society, on the overall society, and also to consider how that theme impacts different aspects of our life, either in the political field, environmental, ethical, social, legal, moral, etc. And that also he was talking about the importance of the some backup or some in order to back up or support your arguments. We need to use meaningful context and and it was also important to use a wide range of resources of sources. And he mentioned that it wasn't convenient uh, to use uh, from Wikipedia articles from Wikipedia, but to make sure that the information was from recognizable articles and all the stuff.
Okay,
And
thank you, Diego.
and he'll. Mhm.
Thank you, Diego. Maria, what would you like to add? Diego, I want you to mute your mic while you're not talking. Thank you so much. Okay, Maria, go ahead.
Okay, as Diego said, in the video he explains some steps for that you have to take into account before a debate, and that in general has to do with some parts that you have to take to consider before to start a debate. So the first is that you must consider the topic in a big way, not only from the pros but also the cons. And you have to research and you have to be prepared for everything. So he explains that that the argument needs to have a base, that you have a good research before that, and also that that it's very important that you be logical in your arguments. Everything has to be connected with the other things, because you cannot simply speak about something if you have a good base. And the other thing that I think is important is that he mentioned five aspects. I took my notes. So one is argument, the other one is content, the other is refutation, the other is teamwork, and finally style. I think that's more or less what the video talks about.
Okay, thank you so much, Maria. Now, Freiber, tell us something about the second video, about the debate vocabulary, okay?
In the second video, uh, we can watch that there is a list of useful expressions to carry out a debate. Personally, I think that they are very interesting and important. Um, for today, I took in my notebook, and I will try to use today.
Okay,
Teacher.
that's it. Okay, that's good. Jiver, Tell me something about the second video, which is about the debate vocabulary, okay? So I want you to tell us something, Gibber, about the second video. You have to unmute your microphone first. Gibber, where? Okay, go ahead.
Bueno,
That's good.
muchas
Go ahead.
gracias.
Yeah.
Bueno, ok. The video, hay moment, teacher. Estoy como nervioso, excuse me.
That's okay. That's okay. Go ahead.
Bueno, the video proposed for the CAE for are everything because they allows us to now and learn how good debate should be made. This video help me to reinforce my knowledge about a debate beside getting ready an answer to very relevant question with vocabulary and grammar with a rank of appropriate language and prepared likewise speaks of it is good to read English books to acquire vocabulary. Also be natural, not to repeat the question. Also in the video presented in why this us how we so the presented a debate the points of view, the way of proposing, arguing, and defending opposition, whether or not to be in agreement with what the other side, and if it is the case, to apologize if interrupts to get an idea or argument. Is important the video, but knowledge is skills. Thank you, teacher.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Gibber. You're trying your best. That's good. Thank you so much. Okay, Maria, tell me something about the second video, please.
Okay, tutor. For me, it was very interesting this video because I think it talks about another things that you must consider when you are in a debate. That is the part of interaction, because normally we are thinking about the arguments. So I'm thinking what I want to say or about the topic. But this video is gives some clues. So you have to take into account when you need to move the conversation inside the debate. So it shows maybe 5 parts. That is the part when you are listening the other part and you want to say something about what they are saying. The other is when they are talking and they are not letting you talking. So maybe you can see, hey, I am here and I want to say something. And the other thing is when you maybe everybody in your group has talked about things, or maybe in the other group, but you're not saying something, and it is important that you have an intervention. And the other is to express what I am thinking at this moment, and it's important to say. And finally, the conclusion. So it is interesting because it gives many options of how to start a sentence. For me, it was very interesting, that video. Short, but I think it gave us very good information.
Yes, you're right. That's right. Meaningful information there. That individual. Okay, Fravor is not here because his computer just turned off. So he's trying to connect with his cell phone. That was his typing to me. Okay, that's good. So now, do you have questions about the debate procedure? Because the idea for this encounter is that we're going to practice the debate procedure, okay? I know some of you already did that activity, but yeah, it doesn't matter. The idea now is that we're going to practice a little bit more, okay? So do you have questions about the procedure? Any doubt? Something that it is not clear somehow? Or is it all clear? Okay, for Diego, is everything clear? And for Maria as well. Okay, for Gilbert, I guess everything is clear as well. Okay, so let's wait a little bit for Raven. Okay, I gave you two topics last encounter, right? So Diego and Gilbert, you are pro team, right? Young people taking on responsibilities will improve today's society, right? You had that topic. Okay, so you are pro team. Did you did you have did you have the chance to gather? Did you have the chance to get together and prepare? Okay, you didn't. So now I'm gonna give you 5 minutes, okay? So Maria, you are with Private, okay? Which is young people, the opposite, just the opposite view. Okay, I will type it again, but I think you already have that clear. Okay, let me just put it here. There you go. Okay, Maria, I want you to be with Private. I mean, I already gave to you that group last encounter. So I will give you 5 minutes, okay? So you will be able to prepare to talk about what you're gonna be sharing, your arguments, your backup, and so on. So 5 minutes, no longer than that, and then you will come back and we will start with the debate. With the debate, sorry. Okay. You said okay, so now you're able to leave the conversation. If you don't want to leave the conversation, that's okay. You can stay as you wish, but I want you to prepare now, okay?
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Prepare. So you have 5 minutes. So 4:20, you have to come back again. Okay, Maria, you can. I think you can stay here and you can prepare with Faber here in this video call. But Gilbert, I want you to leave
Okay.
since Diego left the conversation. So I want you to leave the conversation. Okay. Okay. Let me just. I will remove you from the conversation. Let's say. Okay. There you go.
Oh,
So Maria and Freiber,
okay.
I want you to prepare, okay? So this is have 5 minutes. So Maria, if you're able also to explain Freiber what where we're, I mean, what we are doing. Go ahead.
Oh my God. It's okay. Okay, Faber, do you listen to me?
Yes,
Okay, so we need to prepare our arguments against but I have a question here because if you are against, we have to say that young people can carry out responsibilities.
Okay, sorry. Can you say that again? I didn't listen. Can you say that again?
Uh, okay, I have the question, tutor, because I don't know if the argument is young people can't carry out responsibilities. If we are against, we have to say that yes, they can. Yes.
Right. Yes, you're right.
Okay.
You have to say
Okay.
they
Thank you, teacher.
cannot. Yeah. Pro team is going to say they can do it. They are able to do so. So you will say the
Okay.
opposite. Okay.
Okay. So, what do you think, Faber?
you you can make you can research, okay, you can get some stuff from websites and so on. Okay,
Okay.
go ahead.
Because I try to find some information, but it's easier to find why they can't. But
Right.
yes, not
You're right.
why they can.
Right, yes, you're right. Go ahead. We're going to practice. Sorry, my bad. Sorry about that. For a while. Okay. Diego? Did you mute your microphone, please? Okay, there you go. Thank you so much, Diego. Okay, now let me just give you a brief explanation about the debate procedure. Okay, it isn't that hard. Now I want Pro Team to defend the idea that young people they're able to take on responsibilities. Okay, that's the idea. So Diego will have maybe 1 minute and a half because as a matter of time we are not able to give you two. And Gilbert as well will have maybe 1 minute and a half. Okay. Then when pro team is done, then you, Maria and Fravor, you're going to come up and you're going to talk about the young people cannot carry out responsibilities, okay? So while one team is sharing, the other team has to write down questions, okay? I want you to do that. You can write two questions, maybe. It doesn't mean you will ask all of them, but at least write two questions for the opposite team, okay? And then we will be moving forward to the Q&A section, which is the questions and answers interchange. Okay, so that's the idea, kind of the procedure. Okay, so Gilbert, I need your camera in order to start. Okay, there you go. So now, pro team, you have 3 minutes to defend your idea. So go ahead.
Well, I think that it's important that to the young people assume the responsibility for the actions they they make in today's society, because because they since they are young, they have the opportunity to get in touch through the internet usage, to get in touch with the problems that face our world today. And they need to become aware that their actions will affect greatly the future of the planet. And there are many problems we need to overcome. Since they have access to this much information, they can become aware of the problems as a society, the overall society needs to overcome in order to improve today's society. They need, if they take on that responsibility about the for the future of the planet, it's quite certain that the standard of living of the people in the world will become better. But my whole idea is that since they have access to information, through this a lot of information, through to the information through internet, they can become aware of those problems that are taking place all over the world. So it is the ideal is that they take on responsibility, because we need to overcome political issues, environmental issues, and the future relies greatly on the actions they take today. And Jir,
You have to unmute your microphone, Gilbert.
I don't know, Jibber, do you wanna deliver something?
Gilbert, please unmute your microphone.
Okay. Bueno, young people currently assume their responsibilities can greatly improve society because they depend of the future of a country. Is important that they are support by adults if they fail support have The ability to make decisions is beside on the cell them of the young person and the support the recipes from his parents. Not only it enough to decide determination, the family nucleus and occur develop in the children state are fundamental in love the family, but knowledge obscure ability decision in the world, in the town, in the school. Is important love the family.
Okay, thank you so much, Pro Team. Now, Con Team, it's your turn. Go ahead to defend your idea.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Who starts? Me? Or start you, Freiber?
Would
You
like to
start? And maybe you can say the first ideas you had, and after I defend the last one.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Um, yes, I understand your idea, Diego and Giver, but I think that the young people are persons that they are in a process of formation as a person, defining their interest and defining their projects, their dreams, their personality, their relationship with the outside world. Then this implies that the young person must begin to think seriously about how or through what methods he can support himself. Then, from my point of view, I think that the young people don't usually have the capacity to solve problems, and often they don't know how to prioritize their skills. Um, for this reason, I think it's a great risk for young people if their young people given responsibilities without experience. What do you say, Maria?
Yes, River. I think it's the first idea that I think is the where the idea that young people can carry out responsibilities start there. Start that they are in a formation process, so they have many
Yeah.
things to learn, and they are not still adapt to the society. And another thing that we talked that you mentioned also before the debate was that there is a risk that maybe um, as they are not experienced people making decisions, maybe they can put in risk situations or persons or even a company because they don't have all the skills to make good decisions. They don't have still all the view of the whole situations. And the other thing that I think is very important to support our point about what you were saying is that in the situation that they are and that you described before, is that they could be more interested about their prestige, their social image. So it is possible that this make them be more concentrated about themselves, not about the people, not about the people around them, not about the problems of other people. So maybe they are thinking about they must be friend of someone that can help them to improve inside an institution or a company. They are not thinking about maybe the consequences of their decisions for other people around them. So I think that's one of that big risk one of the big risks that we face when we give to our young people responsibilities. I don't know if you want to add something more, Faber.
Yeah. Can you hear me well?
Yes.
Okay. I feel that in addition, the problem here is that the young people can have ups and downs that can affect their ability to be responsible. In many times, and sometimes when they have a problem, they prefer to leave before trying again. Before this, I think that it's no good to carry out responsibilities without experience with young people.
Okay, thank you so much. So that was con team. So now we are moving forward to the questions and answers interchange. So first, I want con team to ask pro team about their arguments, okay? So Maria and Fravor, this is your turn to ask questions to Gilbert and Diego, okay? So remember, you can make a rebuttal. You can counter argument, okay? So if Diego gives you an answer that maybe you have something else to say, you could say, well, I think this, and then maybe you could ask another question, okay? That's you
Okay.
could do so. You could also interrupt, okay, politely, but that's okay, okay?
Okay.
This is this is where the fun really begins. So now, yeah, this is your time, Maria and Fravor. Go ahead, Diego and Gilbert, you're ready to talk. Go ahead.
Okay. I have a first question that I had while Diego was talking. You talked about that young people is important in society because they can change the reality, they can change the society, they can change things. So the question that I was thinking about at that moment was how they are improving society in the present. Uh, how do you how many apportations do you think in the present young people is given to the society?
Well, in order to reply your question, I would say that their actions, their actions won't have an immediate impact on society. This is a long run impact in the world. Uh, since it's an accumulative process, they need to begin from now, because in order to overcome today's problems, I mean environment and corruption and poverty and all the stuff, they need to take actions today. So in the future, those problems are just a question of the past. And so the immediate impact is not that visible because it will happen in the long run. And so, however, if they become aware of today's problems, those problems they can come to understand today won't won't be part of our future. So the idea is that this is an accumulative process that will that will have results, but in the long run.
Okay, I agree with you in that part. I think that young people is writing things for the future, and maybe we can imagine at this moment the consequences of what is happening in the present, of maybe what a young person is creating, not only for their own, but for all the society and the reality. But I think is what I want to understand is, what do you think, for example, in the present, for example, what happened with technology, with the young people all the time using their cell phones, for example. Do you think that it is an aspect that is showing that they are irresponsible? Or maybe behind that is to be all the time with the cell phone, there is something good, there is something that can be changing the society in the present. What do you think?
Well, I see where you're heading. However, I think um, there's a misuse of technology nowadays, and young people haven't understood how to use technology in a conscious way. And so you mentioned that young people are all the time paying attention to applications and all the stuff. So we have seen movements. We have seen movements, especially in the United States, regarding the green. How's the name? The new Green Deal, and those actions have been taken by young people. And they are becoming aware of the problems our world is facing today. However, when they don't understand how to use internet and those technological resources, that is where there is a problem, because they haven't understood the reach that the good use of technology can bring about for society. And we have seen, for example, what happened in the Middle East a couple of years ago with Facebook. And people gathered through Facebook in order to protest against governments, and many governments were brought down, and that happened in Egypt and Morocco and many countries like that. And it's currently happening with the Venezuela problem. So what I want you to see is that there are young people that are making the correct use of technology today, and when they all understand that technology can be used in order as an advantage for society, that's when they can revert the current process of destruction that our world is happening to our world. So when they don't use the technology properly, that's a disadvantage. However, we can young people make very important actions when we make the correct use of technology.
I don't know if Freiber, do you want to complement maybe?
Okay, yes. So, okay, guys, you told us about the skills and abilities that young people have in contrast with the adults, especially when they learn and they learn quickly and assimilate change more easily than the adults. So I want to know, why do you think it's important to give young people responsibilities, give them opportunities to carry out responsibilities?
Who are you asking to? Raver, who are you asking to?
And asking, why do you think it's important
No,
to
I
give
mean who?
young
I mean to whom? Who? Gilbert on Diego. I want you to ask
uh,
something to Gilbert.
okay, Gilbert,
Yes.
can you hear me? Gilbert, why do you think it's important to give to young people responsibilities?
Okay. Um, the learning made decision is in adolescence from the impulse to the prudent responsibility. It's important. Uh, I think the young feel responsibility when they are emotional well, and in learning sometimes they can be responsibility when the teachers was innovate dialogue, methodological strategies, and according uh, uh, the person adolescent, because it's important responsibility, but in students, but skills also, a person might wish to responsibility by many factors that they can alter their mood. For example, the loss of a loved one, a disease, etc. But me, knowledge is important, responsibility in the young, but necessary in education, in the moment, in actuality, because of the young learning. Uh, Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead, Maria.
Okay, Gilbert, I think that you and Diego say important things about young people and about I think you recognize that maybe young people has some shortcomings, but in general they are good. Is what you are more or less saying. And now you're talking about emotions that I think is a very important fact in this discussion. But I would like to ask you, if, for example, if you have a company and you have two candidates, one is a man who has, I don't know, who is 50 years old and has a lot of experience and is a very serious person. And in the other hand, you have a young man, I don't know, he's 20, and he doesn't have enough experience. According to your point of view, you are saying that maybe young people can do many things good. Which of the two persons will you join to your company? The young person, the young man, or the older one that has all the experience? What do you think?
Mm, eh, I I think I in responsibility I agree with this statement, because responsibility is important in the job. Uh, also strategy uh, with they con ellos, that allows students to be active in the moment, in the actuality. It's like a small engineer that helps them to feel a state for knowledge and skill, it with more interest.
Okay,
Interest.
Diego, thank you. Diego, would you like to add something else?
There's a saying that prays that you shouldn't teach new tricks to an old dog. That saying can be applied to the more experienced person. And there are people that may have a very long background job experience. However, they they are not that skillful with their emotions and all the stuff. And the emotions, there are times when direct their actions, and that's a problem. That's a problem for the company. And in the case of the young boy she mentioned, I think there is one opportunity and there's something negative. For example, the fact that he doesn't have long experience, job experience, and he will have the chance to learn. However, he can make many mistakes during that process of learning. So I think I would hire the older person with better background experience, because we assume that he can handle whatever situation, mm, mainly because of their experience. and and I think that is the but you're talking about a company. A company pays more attention to experience, and
Yeah.
they are not that interested in helping people to grow within the company. But I think that as a matter of fact, the idea here is that um, is larger than in a company. I think we're talking about um, the impact in to all to the overall society, and so I would agree with the older person. However, the young person is open to learn new things, and that's good for them.
Okay, thank you so much, Diego. Now we're gonna switch roles, okay? So I want Diego and Gilbert to ask questions to Maria and Fravor. So get ready, Maria and Fravor, and now this is your time to ask questions. Go ahead, Diego and Gilbert.
Jiver, would you like to ask the first question?
You have to unmute
Um,
your microphone, Gilbert. Remember that. You have to unmute your microphone, Gilbert. There you go. Okay, go ahead.
Uh, the question?
would you like to make the
Says.
first question?
Okay. It is often said that the responsibility is important in education. Do you agree?
Responsibility from the point of view. Could you please explain a little more the question? Responsibility. I'm not clear.
Responsible.
Yes, but
It's
could you?
important in education. Do you agree?
That I don't understand very well the question. If responsibility from the point of view of everybody and education,
It's
or
important the education in
Es,
the field of education.
yes, es importante la responsabilidad en la educación.
okay,
Um,
okay, okay. Yes. What do you think, Fraser? If you want, I compliment after. If you want to start.
yes, I think that it's very important in education to be responsible because the young people need in this stage be able to have better performance in their studies and be the ability, the skill to be an automatic person and acquire new abilities to summarize the world. So I think it's very important the responsibility in education. For example, in the universities, we have a lot of works, we have a schedule, and we know that we need to develop the activities on time. So this helps us to strengthen our personality. Then I think it's very important to have responsibility in education.
Yes, and I would like to add that also it is because and maybe when you don't have enough experience, if you're responsible, if you have a sense of responsibility, maybe you can work as a person that has a lot of experience because you're a serious person. Maybe you don't have the experience, but maybe you can very helpful. So it is important if you learn that in the school, not during your life and you're an adult people. It is important that you learn about that before the adult life.
Okay, Diego, go ahead with your questions.
Well, you mentioned that young people or youth are more interested in their personal affairs. They're more interested in making good relationships, friends, and all the stuff. And so I would like to ask you, do you think that attitude, their attitude, is is the result of their education at their house? Are their parents responsible for how for how they see the world? Are parents responsible, or is only young boys' responsibility?
Okay. Okay, I think that is a very interesting question. I think I have to recognize that, for example, I agree with you in what you said before about that the potentiality that you think that young people have in front of the society and the future. And I think that it is true. It is something that happens at the beginning, maybe. But yes, I think that there is a society that that first is represented by their parents. And for example, here in Colombia, we have a society that is very, very sick, that has a very strange ideas about life. We have a very bad idea about success. To be successful person is having money. It doesn't matter where it comes from, and we have to, I don't know, like a past life, like kicking persons. I don't know, I'm going, and if I can to kicking you, I don't know, because I need to pass, it's okay. And I think that yes, when you are young and you're in front of a society that works like that, you start to feel, if you're aware or not, that you have to do something. And so yes, I have to start to get a behavior like that, because I have to survive in this society. So I can be different. I have to be like the other people. So I think that yes, the parents and the adult people has many things to do with that. I don't know, what do you think, Favor? Do you um
Okay, Maria, completely agree with you. I think that the education in the home with the parents is the base of the family, of the world, of our society. Then, as I said before, when when we are in a young stage, we are in a process of formation as a person. Then, as Maria said, it's very important the role of the parents, because they need all help possible in order to strengthen their abilities to confront the world, to solve the problems, the troubles that possibly they have in their life. Um, I can summarize that the role of the parents is very important and necessarily for them.
Okay, okay. That was good. Okay, Diego, do you have another question, or that's okay for you? That's okay. Okay. So, okay, thank you so much. So we're concluding with the debate. Yeah, thank you, Jiver. Thank you, Diego. You did a really good job. Favorite and Maria as well. So let me give you some advices. Remember that a debate is not a CIA exam, okay? So you're not able to say, "What do you think, Favor?" He said, "I mean, that was good. I didn't want to stop you, but I want you to be to be sure of that. Okay, you don't have to do that. Okay, maybe if Diego asks Maria, that's okay. Maria, you answer, and then yeah, leave it there. Okay, because it is not CAA part three. Okay, that will work for the CAA part three. But that was good. And yeah, Diego, good job. Also, yeah, I mean, you did a really good job defending your ideas. Good backup as well. Fravor, your English is improving a lot. I see you have been improving. Okay, so it is so good. You're more fluent. You're talking like
Okay,
with a
thank
better,
you.
yeah, better
I'm
pronunciation.
practicing
So
a lot.
yes, yes, and I can see it. Yeah, I can see the product. It is so good. So I just want to encourage you to keep going that way. It was so good to hear you like speaking in that pace, in that rhythm, good pace. You were,
Okay, thank
yeah, more relaxed. That was good. Okay, you're improving your English level, so that's the idea. Keep going forward. Okay, Jiver, thank you. You're doing your best. I know. So keep improving. I want you to practice. Maybe you can get together with some of your classmates, your partners, and then you can practice along with them. That would be a good idea for you. But thanks so much for trying hard. And Maria, you did good as well. So you have to remember that even though you agree with what your opponent is saying, you don't have to say it. Keep it in your mind, okay? Don't say I agree, because I mean that's the idea of the debate, right? That the opposite team take take over. I mean, will beat you, will defeat you. So you don't have to let the other team defeat you, okay? So what you have to do is to take the opposite view. It doesn't matter if you agree. Just erase that from your mind, delete it, or keep it there. Okay. Try to look for another argument and then say it. Okay. So don't say to con team if you're pro team. Don't say to con team, I agree, you're right, because I mean that's so bad for the debate. Okay, you have to take the opposite view. But you did well. Okay, so remember to take the quizzes. Okay, and also remember to check always the information that we sent you through the internal course mail. Okay, so I hope you have a really good week. I hope Diego will, yeah, I mean the week will go well for you. Too much work, but that's okay. Fravor, keep going, keep practicing. You will be getting better every time. Okay, so yeah,
thank you.
yeah, it was a good class. See you around. So see you next Sunday.
Okay, thank you, tutor. Thank
Okay,
you.
bye bye. Bye bye,
Bye.
Diego. Bye bye, Gilbert. Bye bye, Fravor, Maria.